Get into Tony Tone's world. The Tony Tone's world.
I always hate that fucking little notification. Gets me all nervous.
Saying that you're recording and now it's time to go.
Yeah. All right, let's fucking go. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Tony Tone's world. I actually haven't done an intro in a minute. That kind of felt weird to say. First, before we start, I'd like to tell everybody I appreciate all the views, all the comments I've been receiving. I have one ask. I have one favor. Just hit that like and subscribe button, and I'd really appreciate that. And then send me some more feedback. Send me screenshots of you guys listening. I appreciate it. We've been doing this, weekly NFL podcast, but I've obviously, as you guys seen, I've uploaded a podcast with my buddy Fahad recently. I have some more podcasts that are not, strictly about NFL and so forth, about other topics coming up. But they're coming down the line. It just takes some time. I'm a one-man band here, so it just takes a little bit of time. But again, I appreciate everybody listening. And yeah, let's get right into it. Before we start, though, I would like to say happy birthday to this guy. It was his birthday yesterday, hence why we're coming out late. This guy just totally forgot about the fucking podcast. So what an asshole, right? He turns 40, and all of a sudden he has dementia. So it's all right.
Whoa. Let's dial it back. I didn't turn no 40. No, don't be aging me. Only 37. I still got some years till I hit 40. And you're right behind me, so don't act like we're not right there together, brother.
I was told that I look like I'm in my upper 20s yesterday.
Yeah, well, people lie to people all the time, so that's
well, cheers, dude. Happy birthday.
Cheers thing. I'll cheers with my Powerade I have right here. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I didn't forget. I just dinner ran a little late, and okay, maybe I did forget a little bit because I got a little busy. It's how it goes. But we're here, we're ready now, and who cares that Thursday night football already happened, and we'll just forget like that game didn't happen, and no big deal.
I'm actually, if we would have recorded this earlier, like before on Wednesday, whatever, or Tuesday night, as we usually do, I would have chosen the Seahawks plus the money.
Oh, see, then
plus the points.
I was helping us out because then we would have lost another game, and that would have been great not great, would have been horrible because we would have started out with the Thursday night loss, just like we did last week.
All right. So it seems like it was a lifetime ago last weekend already things move quickly here in the NFL and obviously in our own lives. So having to remember everything, I will say though, let me just start off with the Bears. Buddy, you better jump on the train now because we're gathering all the bandwagon fans and just jump on the train now because we're going deep, baby. We are going deep. Caleb Williams is back, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
You say it like he was back, like he got there and then left and came back. Like he's just arriving at the station, maybe. He's chugging along. So let's not say he's back. He's just chugging into a station, okay? That's about it. But we talked about it though last week, right? Like I mean, at least I thought that they were going to win by over 14 points. I just had a feeling he was going to have that breakout game. It just kind of felt like it was time. I did think he was going to go to Odunze, or maybe I kind of just wanted to see that. But hey, you were right. He went to your boy
DJ Moore. Ate him up, baby.
He got his two touchdowns. It was funny because I saw it as soon as the first touchdown came across. And it was to DJ Moore, and I'm like, man, why did it have to be DJ Moore? Like, oh, come on, man. So secretly, the rest, not secretly, but my inner self was like, the rest of the game, anytime I saw the Bears pop up, I'm like, come on, throw it to Dunze, prove me right. And of course, no, what does he do? He throws another one to DJ Moore. But yeah, they played a great game. I had that feeling that the Panthers, even though, like we talked about, they had been playing better. They hadn't seen a defense of the caliber that the Bears have, and Caleb was just due. So yeah, they had a great game.
I mean, Andy Dalton couldn't do anything. The defense was eating them up. What they have? They had one interception. I wanted to say this last week, and I forgot to. But our punter is a fucking stud. I've never talked about a punter in my life, but my man can kick a fucking ball and put it right at like that, within those 10 yards or 5 yards of the end zone. So shout out to that dude, man. He's a fucking stud.
Hey, sometimes there's the Pat McAfees of the world that are just they're aces, man. They make the difference on those special teams players. I mean, just like for my Cowboys, Brandon Aubrey, the dude's a beast and is a kicker. Like sometimes those kickers, like they get forgotten about how pivotal of a role they can play sometimes in these games.
Yeah. I
Kickers,
mean,
punters.
just in that last 49ers game, their kicker of their Seahawks were running it back right now, and the kicker had to make the tackle. And their previous kicker was already injured. And then the kicker right before the game ended, they showed him going into the locker room because he hit him with the shoulder. He got trucked over. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean it's kind of funny that kickers are just making somewhat of a difference this year. Koo in Atlanta, my
dude.
man Koo is killing it. Thank God
Yep.
I have him on one of my teams, my fantasy teams. He's killing it. He's killing it right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's two things, right? It's like, yeah, he's killing it, but that also means that the team can't punch it in the damn end zone for the life of them and then they're stuck kicking field goals all the time. So, hey, it's great for you in fantasy, but the fans of that team are probably like, can we get a fucking touchdown, please? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
holy shit, I'm tired of seeing this damn kicker come out here and kick all day.
Yeah. Back to the Bears real quick. DeAndre Swift had one touchdown for 73 yards. Well, not for 73 yards, but he has 73 yards. Roshan Johnson had 10 attempts, 10 carries for 25 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'm surprised I don't see Khalil Herbert though. I don't know what happened to that guy. I dropped him in my fantasy league, but I'm not. What happened? I don't know. I mean, he obviously got pushed down in the depth chart at this point.
Yeah. I mean, maybe Roshan's just showing them that bruiser that they want to go up the middle. Cause I mean, that's not Swift, right? He's your shifty back that you're trying to get to the edges, and Roshan just maybe is just showing better than Herbert is right now, and they're just hammering him up the box, and right up the middle, and that's why he only 25 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like that has to be hurt for the people who have Swift in fantasy because he's just
Right.
stealing all those damn touchdowns. Because ain't nobody starting Roshan Johnson unless
No.
you have
No.
every hurt running back in the game. But even
Right.
then, probably not.
Right. Another person that's having kind of a disappointing year so far for the Bears is Keenan Allen. Granted, he was injured earlier this year, but from a fantasy perspective, he's not doing too much for me right now. So I'm not playing. I'm starting to bench. I benched him this past weekend. Going to probably bench him this upcoming weekend. He just
He's
isn't doing too
actually
much.
he's dropped in 2 of my other leagues. He's on the waiver wire. People dropped him. They're just
Yeah.
not, because the truth is like Caleb Williams is going to be inconsistent, right? So when you have an inconsistent quarterback,
Whoa there.
okay, well, I mean it's just
His
the truth.
trajectory is going up, baby. His QB rating,
Yes,
his QBR is going up, baby.
yeah, but if you expect him to throw for 300 yards and several touchdowns every week, like, come on, you're back to.
We're just like Bitcoin and COVID, the COVID years, baby. We're just going up. We started at 20 grand. We're going all the way up.
Yeah, well, you better wait for that slump because that Bitcoin slumps pretty hard at times, buddy. We're gonna call you fucking Dogecoin and soon.
Doge. Oh, that's funny. No, but I get what you mean. I mean, Caleb Williams had a hell of a day. Granted, it was against the Packers, but I mean Panthers, 304 yards for 2 touchdowns. He looked pretty solid out there, 20 for 29. So he had a pretty fucking great day. Panthers just, I don't know what the fuck happened. They couldn't get nothing going. They ended up starting what's his name, Bryce Young at the end. So when he came in, the backup came in. He definitely did not look confident being back there.
Nah,
Granted, it was only a couple plays, but still, he did not look like he looked like a kid.
They called his number and he looked at him all bug-eyed and said, "Me?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
who?
Yeah.
That's not my job no more. Don't send me in there against that Bears defense. Like, I'm not ready."
Speaking of DJ Moore's touchdown. You did call for Chuba Hubbard. I don't remember if you said on the podcast or through text messages that your TD parlay was going to be Chuba Hubbard, and he actually scored that fucking game too. It was
Dude,
the first touchdown.
I wish I was a bigger better because I actually had a really great week this week, with a lot of the predictions that I made and anytime touchdowns, just some of the teams that I predicted. I wish I bet more than I put a little parlay together. It did miss. It was like a 7 anytime touchdown parlay, and it missed by one. I hit on everybody except for the Seahawks running back. His name is evading me right now, but he's the only
Kenneth
one.
Walker? Is it
Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Seahawks played like shit last week, which was one of the games that I just had a feeling that the um oh my god, it's I'm brain farting all over the place right now, guys. The Giants. I had a feeling the Giants, who were +6 going into that week, were going to win that game. It's just I had a gut feeling they did. They won it 29-20, and because of the fact that the Seahawks played like shit and were down the whole game, they were throwing like crazy, and he didn't even touch the ball. So he didn't do shit and screwed up my parlay, which it was a pretty nice parlay. It would have been a nice little chunk of change.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of other ones that, when we're just bullshitting on Friday and different things, like I hit on a lot of them. It feels nice when they come through and especially after our picks every single week are duds. That like, oh, okay, maybe I do know a little bit what I'm talking about somewhat when it's some of these predictions. I'm not
Right.
just wrong all the time with ours and our our five our super contest.
What's your feelings about games in London? I mean, it's 8:30. It's an 8:30 game for us for next week, for Sunday. Not next week, but
Oh,
this Sunday. And typically, I'm usually up pretty late on Friday nights, so
yeah.
may have that turnaround is tough.
So I mean, it's fine. There hasn't been any games that I truly wanted to
That's
see thus far.
6:30 for you.
Yeah, it's six.
That's
The
cr
earliest shit.
I don't even wake up that early for work.
I don't either. I don't either. I roll out of bed around like 7:15 to wake my kid up to get him to school. But I work from home, so I'm not getting up that early on a regular
Right.
basis. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I definitely won't get up to watch the game.
Oh, we're waking you up, bro. I'm make sure everybody texts and calls you and everything.
You can try, but I guarantee I am not waking up, my friend. I am not waking up for that. Plus,
I'm gonna be 5 beers deep
plus
before the
I'm not gonna jump ahead, but you're not gonna like my prediction for that game. I'm just gonna give you a
Oh,
little
oh,
hint there as
I feel
well.
confident about that pick. We can get there. We can get there too.
We'll get there, baby. We'll get there.
Let's talk about the Cowboys. How do you feel about that stupid ass game?
Dude, it was. I mean, we kind of knew that was going to be a tough game. I never expected them to just bulldoze the Steelers. The Steelers have a quality defense. Offense isn't anything crazy. Our defense played decent, and Dak finally did his. Well, I shouldn't say finally because he actually has. People hate on him. They say he's shitty, but he does have a pretty good, record when it comes to some of those come from behind wins. And he did his job. He threw for over 350 yards, 2 TDs. Our running game was actually pretty decent, and they came from behind and scored that winning touchdown in the end of the fourth. So it was good to see. It was a little. I think it'll be good for them too. I think it'll be a little confidence booster, especially going into Pitt, beating them in Pitt. It's a solid defense.
Yeah, your
Yeah,
defense actually came out and played pretty well. I mean, they didn't really give up too much running game or passing, so
yeah, yeah.
kind of surprising. I mean, granted, it was Justin Fields, but I can't hate on Justin Fields. He was our quarterback at one point in time. I think he will be a pretty good quarterback still. I think he has value in this league still, but I don't know. Pittsburgh just is in that middle area right now. Whether
Yeah.
are they going to break down everything? I mean, they picked up Russell Wilson. I'm surprised. Is he still injured?
I heard something just this way, or I should say, right, something this week that he is coming off of the injured list or whatever it is. So he should be available. Whether he's going to start or not, I have no clue. I feel like they still roll with Justin Fields, but he
At
should
this
be
time,
back.
I don't know. I don't think I would still roll with Justin Fields even if Russell Wilson is healthy.
No, I agree.
I
He's
think the
5
upside
games
is
into the season. Like,
I think the upside is higher for Justin than Russell at this point. I can't think of a team right this Miami maybe go to Miami. I trade. I don't know.
oh, you
I
mean
don't.
trade Russell?
Yeah, like for a team that needs a quarterback right now, Miami
Yeah.
would be a good one. I mean, fucking the Browns. I don't know what is. I think Deshaun Watson. Did you see what happened at the end of the game
Dude,
where he basically walked off the field?
I've been saying that guy is done. He's done. He doesn't care. He's collecting a paycheck. He just he just finished off his last suit with one of
Yeah,
one of the ladies that sued him. But they have just James Winston over there. Like, he's not by any means a great quarterback, but he'll do his job. They have some wide receivers over there. Jameis Winston will go over there and sling that fucking ball. Like,
is it me or does he remind you of Geno Smith? I feel like Jameis Winston reminds me of Geno Smith, and Geno Smith is actually doing somewhat pretty well this year.
yeah, I mean, Geno Smith is a little bit more shifty. I feel
Like
like
running
Jameis,
wise and stuff. Yeah, I get that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Jameis is more of like, send him down the field, streak him down the field, and this guy's gonna throw it up. Like, he is not afraid to throw a pick.
Yeah.
He's not
And
afraid to throw a pick. He's gonna give his guys a chance anywhere and ever he can. And he has a rocket. He throws those things and he fits them in places that other QBs won't try to throw the ball to. Yeah, he throws a lot of picks, but the guy also will throw for 400 yards out of nowhere on a random Sunday, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? Like,
a Jay Cutler, if you will, or a Matthew Stafford.
yeah, exactly. I'd say more on Matthew Stafford. I don't know about Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler,
You're just a hater, bro. You're just a
yeah,
hater.
I do hate on Jay Cutler just because people always compared him to my boy Romo back in the day, and Romo was better. Period, hands down. Like, there's no debate. So
I can't even rebuttal on that right now. He just said no debate. Okay, all right. I'm
no
gonna let you
debate,
have.
bro.
I'm gonna let you have that one. I'm gonna let you have that
Period,
one.
bro. Period. No.
Okay. All right. Anything else about the Cowboys?
I just keep it going. They just got to keep it going, man. They got another tough game against the Lions this week. So let's see. Let's just see how it goes.
Yeah. Let's talk about well, back to the Browns and Commanders. I mean, Jaden Daniels looked pretty fucking good. I mean, I don't know if it's a mixture of him looking good, but also the Browns sucking pretty badly.
The Browns are just trash, but yeah, I mean, he definitely looked good. He's commanding that offense. He's not. He's playing really well. He's not making mistakes. He's not pushing or forcing anything. He's playing the game. He's letting it come to him, and he's doing his job.
Yeah.
And they're playing really well. It also helps that their running game is off the charts right now. Like, they have, and it's not just one running back, right? Like, they have several running backs that are doing well. Everybody's running, which means they have a great offensive line. So it's going to consistently be, they're going to consistently have great games as long as their offensive line is playing well. Because Brian Robinson, he's had 100 yard games several times. You got Eckler, who everybody thought it was done. Even McNichols, I don't even know who the hell that guy is, and he's ran like they're all being able to rush behind that line, and they're just they're playing really well. Which, as a Cowboys fan, I hate to see because they're in our division, because it's like, holy shit, and do we have another contender in our division? Because nobody expected this from them. But yeah,
I mean,
I, I would say
do the Commanders and Cowboys play this year?
Oh, absolutely. They'll play twice a year because they're a division.
Oh, right. Dumb question by me. Definitely a dumb question by me. I'm sorry. All right. We'll have to look out for that game because
I would say Jaden Daniels is your early prediction for Rookie of the Year right now, the way he's playing.
oh, slow down, relax. We got Caleb Williams in the back.
He's outplaying Caleb right now. He's the top. He's the top right now. Can Caleb, get there? Sure, if he has some stuff to do, but there's 100%. I'd say Jaden Daniels is the top of that list.
Looking at the stat sheet, I didn't realize Marcus Mariota was still in the league.
It's funny who he's in the league still as those backups that you just don't know. Like, but they're cool. They're just collecting paychecks as a number 2, and hey, we'll run in for a play when they get dinged up here and there.
Yeah, for sure. Another game I saw was the Dolphins Patriots. Just a little bit. What a trash bowl. I mean, just a horrible game.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill has gone. I mean, he had 60 some yards, but he is nowhere near what he used to be in KC.
Yeah, the only thing interesting that came out of that game for people who have Devon A-Chain, he went down with an injury. I don't know how bad it is, but I think it was a rolled ankle, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I can give a shit less what happened in this game. The one thing I will say is the Patriots are benching Jacoby Brissett, and they're going with Drake May, who they just drafted as well. So that's another one of the rookies that just got drafted who are now going to be starting. So that'll be interesting how he does this week.
Yeah. Colts and Jaguars.
That was a good one. That was a
It
back and
was.
forth game.
How long is Anthony Richardson out for?
I believe he's back this week.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
mean, Joe Flacco came in and did pretty fucking well. Over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. He still has it. Another guy, another backup that I didn't realize it was still in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, he just got signed this year, right? I mean, he wasn't. I don't think he was on a team recently before this.
He's getting passed around like a blunt bite right now. You know, he's going from team to team. So
yeah, I mean, who went down in this game? Pittman Jr. I think went down, right?
Pittman got hurt.
Yeah, he went down. The only reason I know that is because I have, I think Josh Downs in one of my leagues. So an upside for me personally.
Alec Pierce had a great game, or Josh Downs, but Pittman went down. So we'll see how long that is. Their running back was also out, which played a factor, but their backup Sermon had a decent game. Hell, he put up like 18 points in fantasy for me as the backup, so I wasn't mad at it.
The one thing I have to say about the Jags, as they are going to be playing the Bears this upcoming Sunday, is they're rushing. I mean, they still had over 100. Bigsby had 100 yards this past week. So, and then obviously Chubba Wubba had a good game against us. So we'll see. Hopefully the Bears can stop that dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just Bigsby, right? He's technically the backup. He's not even the starter. It's Etienne that's the starter, but Bigsby's just been playing well, so they've been giving a lot more touches. So I don't know if maybe there's a little bit of a change going on there, possibly, but Etienne's supposed to be the guy. Could be changing.
Yeah. Houston Bills, another good game. I enjoyed watching that game as well.
Josh Allen played like shit.
He did. I think in the first half of the game, I only had about 7 or 9 points as a part of my fantasy team, and then he actually came back and got me like 19, something okay, just whatever. But yeah, he did play like shit. But they ended up squeaking out that game at the end with that field goal.
Yeah. Well, the Texans did. The Texans squeaked it out.
Right. That's what I meant. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, I mean, Stroud had a good game. He had that long bomb to Nico Collins, but then at the same time, Nico Collins went down with an injury, which is going to hurt. But at the same time, like, they have 2 quality other wide receivers that could easily be 1A and 1B, and Stephon Diggs and then Tank Dell. Tank Dell's a beast. He just hasn't been getting the looks because they have Diggs and Collins. And
isn't Collins on the IR for like 4 games?
He's going to be out for 4 games.
Do you have him on a league?
I don't, which was a mistake on my end. I should have 100% drafted him, but I was just afraid of, like, there's 3 guys. Is one of them really going to dominate? That was kind of my mindset of, like, when you have 3 guys, it's just going to be split across the board. So I was a little just hesitant to draft him. Not sure who was going to be the number 1. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, Stephon Diggs was going before Nico Collins in the draft. Or they were going really close to each other. So it was just, I don't know. I was hesitant, but I should have drafted him. I think I had the option to in one of them, and I didn't.
Another high scoring game was the Ravens and Bengals.
Yeah, that one's overtime, right?
Yeah. Lamar Jackson, 348 yards, 4 touchdowns. Derrick Henry, 8 again, 92 yards with 1 touchdown.
Mhm.
And just rushing at least. I don't know what he had 4 yards of receiving. So yeah, 98 yards or whatever total.
Yeah.
Zay Flowers, 111 yards. I mean, Lamar was slinging it that day.
Yeah, he finally threw it to his tight ends. Mark Andrews had a
Mark
few
Andrews,
catches.
yeah, Mark Andrews actually got some action too.
He got
I
some.
remember you saying that too I think it was last week that where the hell's Mark Andrews been at? Yeah,
Yeah.
he finally got some action there too. And
But
then
dude, Burrow fucking was finally he just I don't know, it finally clicks. But you know what? The Bengals are notorious slow starters. Like if
yeah,
you go back in the last few years, like I swear they start 0-2 like every year, man. I have no I just it's like they don't wake up until it's week 4 or some shit. Was Joe
there's
Burrow 5 touchdowns? I mean,
Jamar
Jamar Chase.
Chase. Oh,
Ooh.
193 yards. Dude,
Uh,
I'm doing pretty good in fantasy, as you guys can tell. Another guy I drafted, fucking killing it for me right now.
Yeah, he definitely went out and won some leagues for people. I mean, that's a 50-point game right there,
Yeah,
45 to 50
exactly.
point
He
game.
gave me 50 some points in our league right now. So that's crazy.
Uh,
I
wild.
love it. I love it.
Hey, but I loved it too because I got T. Higgins, and T. Higgins didn't have a bad game either. I mean,
No,
9 for 83 and 2 touchdowns himself. Like that's solid shit. It's not 50 points like Jamar, but that's a great game for anybody else.
dude, is Jamar Chase still playing on that original contract? Not original, but the one that you know how he was holding out in the beginning of the year because he wanted a new contract?
He didn't get a new contract.
He
He's
didn't.
playing on his original contract. So from what I heard too is he took out an insurance policy on himself this year. They didn't want to pay him, so he went on and took out like a 50 million or some dollar amount insurance policy on himself because if he gets hurt, he wants to cover his own ass, which is smart.
Right.
It's 100% smart. I'm sure, it's worth it for him because you just never know in the NFL. You could get hurt by any little thing, it's just a freak accident. So, smart by him, and he's balling. Somebody's gonna pay that man.
Yeah,
Somebody's gonna pay that
exactly.
man.
Yeah. I hope it's the Bears. Just give us all the stud receivers.
You want Devontae Adams. He wants Jamar Chase.
I want them all.
He wants the dream team. Next thing he's gonna want to pay Jerry Rice to come back and play on the Bears too. Like, holy shit.
No. I don't want that. No. Yeah, Joe Burrow, 392, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. I mean, it was basically no defense in this game.
No defense. It's just let's see who can throw for the most yards and score the most points, which hey, love to see it. Great for fantasy. I think there was more touchdowns this week than in any other week there's been. And some of the quarterbacks just went crazy. So yeah.
The other games, Cardinals, 49ers, close game. Packers, Rams, Giants, Seahawks. And do you have anything input on those games?
The fact that the Cardinals beat the 49ers, that team confuses the shit out of me because they lose. I guess that team, I don't get them. They show up when you don't think they'll have a chance, and then they don't when they should. They're confusing as hell to me.
Yeah.
That Broncos defense, they showed up and beat the Raiders. Fuck the Raiders.
Didn't they, who did they start at quarterback? Was it Gardner Minshew? Yeah. And then they're gonna be starting Aiden O'Connell going forward now.
Yep. They're giving him the rock. He's gonna have it moving forward. So I don't know who he's throwing to or whatever. I still think they're just they're gonna be the new Panthers of the league. But hey, did you see there was a 100-yard reception or interception ran back for a touchdown, 100-yard pick six by Surtain. Patrick Surtain caught it in the end zone and ran that shit all the way back. It was beautiful to watch.
It was either right before that or right after that. There was a fumble return for a touchdown.
They were back to back. That was
different games. I can't remember who it was. Was it the Packers? Maybe.
I'm drawing a blank on who it was too. It was one of the afternoon games.
Yeah, because it was on Red Zone back to back. I'm like, holy shit, that's crazy.
Yeah.
The one game I do want to talk about before we go to this upcoming week is Saints and Chiefs. Dude, I don't know what happened, man. I honestly thought the Saints were going to be able to keep up with them, obviously
did
beat
too.
them. Derek Carr did not look great at all. They were just having issues, and then Alvin Kamara just did not show up at all either.
They look like a completely different team than the team we saw in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't get it. They're literally 2 completely different teams. The way the play calling, I feel like the Derek Carr was trying to throw everything deep. Like it was like if you weren't 40 yards down the field, he was not throwing the ball to you. I can't tell you how many times it was like they were throwing it down to Shaheed, and they were just trying to hope he could jump up and snag it. And it was like, or the other guy, I forget his name. It was like Tipton or something like that, which is their third string guy. But they threw it down the field
Yeah.
to him a bunch of times too, and it was, I just they were just jump balls everywhere. And that's how you're gonna try to force and win a game. Like I get you're playing the Chiefs, you're gonna force a few things. You're gonna you have to beat them points wise. If you don't, you're not going to win. Like I get that,
Yeah.
but that's just not smart. Like a defense can play against that. You know what I mean? When you don't make them actually second guess their play calls on defense against you, when when they put a safety over the top, you're running against 2 guys streaking down the field every single time. Like you're not gonna win that many times. Like sure, Shaheed is good at the long ball, but he's not that good.
That's why it's so important to get that run game going. So the safeties or the linebackers are sitting down, waiting, trying to play close to the line, so that way your wide receivers open up in the backfield. But yeah, I agree. Mason Tipton, I remember them trying to throw it to him all the time in the game. He only had one reception for 2 yards.
Yeah, and I guarantee there was at least 3 or 4 times they threw it to him downfield for a long pass. I mean, and again, we're not talking the 20-yard pass. These are 40 yards at least that they're throwing the ball down the field to him.
And Chris Olave, the guy that they drafted, 2 receptions for 10 yards. So, like, I don't know, just the whole scheme of things, how it played out, it just didn't seem like they showed up.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like the end, I believe. Yeah, it wasn't until the end that the Saints gave up 10 points in the fourth quarter. Other than that, their defense was pretty solid. I mean, they only had 15 points up until the fourth quarter, or 16 points. I'm sorry, 16 points. So for keeping the Kansas City Chiefs to 16 points going into the fourth quarter is pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, the Chiefs definitely were not playing anything amazing. They couldn't get in the end zone. I think they settled for field goals a few times, which, obviously isn't typical for them. But they're missing several guys as well. So, they're adjusting to their new norm. They actually ran the ball more than they usually do too.
By who?
What do you
ran
mean?
that?
Oh,
Who ran that?
Kareem Hunt, man. He had like 20. There you go, 27 carries. Like that's a lot of carries in a game. Not normal for the Chiefs. But hey, who knows? Maybe we're looking at the new Chiefs offense while they're have several people out.
For a guy that just got picked up too.
Yeah, but he's not that normal pickup off the street. You know?
Yeah, I mean he already knows well, I'm assuming they maybe changed a little bit, but he's been in the organization before, so he knows how things work. So
yeah. He's been around the block.
Yeah. All right, let's go to this week. Let's go to our super contest. So, let's see. What did we do last week? We got 3 correct last week, actually.
Oh shit! Look at
shit.
We're on a roll now, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. We had we got the Bucks wrong. We got the Vikings correct, the Bears correct. Let's go Bears. We got the Packers correct and the Saints incorrect.
Yeah.
So
I should have went with my pick because I picked the Saints. That was my pick last week. I should have went with my pick of the Giants instead of the Saints, but I just thought they were going to play better and keep it closer. It was 5.5 points, and I'm like, they've been playing decent. They can cover 5.5 points for between the Chiefs. I felt good about it, but
they were there. They were there. They had the opportunities. Just
Yeah.
just didn't go their way. All right, so we lucked out. We didn't go with my pick today, which would have been Seattle Seahawks. I think they were at plus 3.5 earlier this morning. I could be wrong, but it could have fluctuated. But I think it was 3.5. So good thing we didn't choose that game. All right, let's just go down the line. Go same as normal. Pick 5 teams against the spread or with the spread, and we'll agree on 3. And then if we both get our own pick.
Okay. Sounds good.
Jags at Bears in London at 8:30 in the morning. Bears are minus 1.5. We already know that you don't like that, apparently. Why don't you like that?
So here's my thought process. In one, the Jags, London is like a home game for the Jags. So the Jags have played consistently in London for several years now. They know that stadium. They know that trip. It's they're accustomed to it. So for me and the Bears, obviously, you got this is going to be the first time long trip in between games for Caleb. For the Bears, I just have a gut feeling that it's going to be more beneficial to the Jags, and the Bears offense might struggle a little bit. That's just my gut feeling. I just have it's part of that trip. I mean, that's a long trip for them to go overseas to go play in London. It's not the same as just going from state to state. Here in the US, it's a lot different.
Okay.
So, again, the Jags have played there several years. Like that, they've pretty much made that their home away from home.
Well, if we're gonna go
And
that
yeah.
way, I mean, tell me why the Cowboys can't win at home.
Okay, let's relax. They can win at home. They've just happened to lose 2 this year, okay? Let's relax with that comparison.
Shit. Washington at Ravens. Ravens are minus 6.5. I mean, the way Jaden Daniels is playing, I don't know how we could take that. I mean, me personally, I don't know how I would take that spread. I would have to go with Commanders plus 6.5.
Yeah, that's a hard one. I don't understand. I mean, the Ravens are playing really well. It's not like the Ravens have a great defense.
I mean, I mean, the Bengals and Ravens game was what, over 50 points, 55 points or so.
Right. So I don't love the game, but I'm kind of agree with you. The way that the Commanders are playing right now, sure, maybe I'd lean towards the Ravens. Probably, I think they might win that game, but 6.5. I don't know. I don't like it.
All right, Cardinals at Packers. Packers minus 5. I don't.
Interesting. The ESPN has that at 4.5, and they have it at 5. Yeah.
Well, then, if that's the case, then we would take the Cardinals in this case. Or, I mean, if you really like the Packers, but I don't. I'm not too confident about that pick. I don't know. I could see it going both ways.
Yeah, yeah. I do like the Packers.
They do play well at home.
Yeah. Lambeau's a hard place to play in, and that Lambeau leap, it just kind of energizes them, I think. I don't know. I'd lean Packers here.
Texans at Patriots. Texans are minus 6.5.
I like it. The Texans
Texans
just a
minus
better
six and a
team.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Let's pick that one. Um, Colts at Titans. Titans minus 3.
I like the Colts. You can't get me to pick the Titans.
Is Will Levis still quarterbacking?
I don't know, but even if it's their backup, the backup's sorry too. So like I don't know how they're favored here.
And Anthony Richardson hasn't declared if he's playing or not.
Not 100%, but I mean, even if he's not, it's not like Joe Flacco is a slouch.
Yeah,
Like
you're
I
right.
think that line's more of a prediction of like, okay, Jonathan Taylor's hurt, Pittman's hurt, Richardson's hurt. Like I think it's more along those lines that's pushing that line than anything. But I mean, they've proven they have other guys. They've
Right.
proven their offensive line can still get rushing or produce rushing yards with Sermon behind the line. And yeah, the Tennessee Titans defense is decent, but I don't know. To me, you go Colts there. Like I'll take +3 because the Titans are shit.
Yeah, I agree with you. I I think I agree, and I think if Anthony Richardson does come back, this line will definitely be changing.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see it change.
All right, so we'll take the Colts. I like that. Um, Bucks at Saints. Buccaneers are -3.5.
I
Kind of
don't
want
know
to
what the hell to do there.
kind of want to stay away from this game. Aren't they?
So,
Aren't they Bucks? Wasn't this originally a home game or no?
oh no, I think it is. No, it's in.
It's in New Orleans, but I don't remember because of the
No, I
hurricane and
think it
stuff.
was always there. I think it might have been always there. I don't know.
Okay.
But
Okay.
here's the one thing to consider. Um, Derek Carr's out.
Oh, right. He got injured. That's
Derek
right.
Carr's out. That backup, and I don't know anything about the backup. He didn't look great when he came in. He didn't look horrible, but he didn't look great. But Derek Carr's out with that oblique injury for 4 weeks. I think he's going on IR, so he's will not be playing.
Hmm, okay. Let's save that one. Let's think about that one.
Yeah.
Browns at Eagles. Eagles -9.5.
That's that's a monster line, but
It
I get it.
is.
The Browns are terrible.
Yeah, they are. But I don't know if I have that much trust in the Eagles either to cover that many points.
Yeah, I mean, if you told me that Brown's back, Barkley may just run all over them and have a monster game. Like
And they're coming off a bye.
if you aren't hammering the Eagles in this game for anytime touchdowns, you're making a mistake. I'm just throwing it out there. Like Barkley is easily going to have an anytime touchdown. Hurts is going to have a touchdown, probably doing a damn, their stupid tush push. That game is going to put up some points for the Eagles. So maybe that line is good. I don't know. That's just a lot of points.
It is a lot of points. Steelers at Raiders. Steelers -3.
Give me the Steelers. The Raiders are trash. They have Aiden O'Connell going in at quarterback. TJ Watts, if you're a better and you want to throw in TJ Watts, gonna have like 2+ sacks in that game. So there's another bet you can throw in with your parlays. Uh, the line for the Raiders is not great. That guy's gonna eat him up.
Yeah.
O'Connell's probably gonna throw a pick or two. So hey, I wouldn't pick up the Steelers in 2 different leagues for defense because I'm gonna enjoy that 15+ points that they're gonna put up this week.
It's a good pickup actually. Chargers at Broncos. Chargers -2.5. I don't want any part of this game.
No, I mean the Broncos D is been playing great. Their offense isn't great, but the D is phenomenal. And the Chargers,
I would
I
have to
just
lean. I would have to lean Broncos. I don't.
I, I might say Broncos too. Like yeah.
Lions at Cowboys. Lions -3.
I mean, you know my pick. It's gonna be the Cowboys. I'm not picking against my boys here. To me, I mean, I know they're giving 3 points one way or the other, but to me, this is like an even game. I know that we have a good chance of losing this game, but I also know that if we play our game, we can beat them. So we'll see. We just
Are
have to
you
stop the run. If we can stop the run, we will win this game. If we cannot stop the run, then we will lose this game. That's literally the determining factor, period. So that's it.
are you going to use your pick on this game?
Probably not.
Okay, good. Thank you. All right, then we don't have to discuss it. I don't think the Cowboys are winning. I think they're just going to throw all over you guys and run. I think David Montgomery's going to eat you all up.
Fuck Montgomery, ain't doing shit.
All right. Falcons at Panthers. Falcons -6. I
Nah.
mean,
I mean, fucking Cousins just threw for 509 yards. What the hell was that? 509 yards on a Thursday. Like,
right.
Jesus.
I
So
would lean the Falcons for sure. I, I mean, they're giving away tickets at the Panther Stadium right now. They're like $1 a piece, So,
uh,
I don't know. I don't
it would
-6. I don't know. I'm indifferent, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty strongly about the next two games. So for me, the next two games, I'm hammering the Bengals. I think the Bengals are going to handle the Giants in this one. I think they're pulling together. So that's just me, 3.5. I have Bengals strongly and the Bills. So if you feel the
Bengals
same,
Bengals minus 3.5 going to the Giants, and then Bills going to the Jets. Bills minus 2.5.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I feel strongly about those. So those were two that I felt. So if you don't like one of those, I'm most likely picking one of those for my pick.
No, I'm going to let you know right now. I'm picking the Bears minus 1.5. I'm letting you know right now. I'm using my authority to pick the goddamn Chicago Bears. All right. We just need to agree on one more. So I would have to go over these last three games: Falcons, Panthers, Bengals,
Oh, wait.
Giants, or
We
Bills.
have three right now. We picked three.
No, we picked two. We picked two.
Okay.
Two that we've agreed on, and then my Bears, and then we need to agree on one more. Out of the Falcons, Bengals, and Bills game, what's your most confident pick? Let's say it on 3. All right.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Falcons.
Bills.
Okay.
You're taking the Falcons confidently at 6 over the other ones?
And the Panthers did not look great at all.
I mean,
And
yes, they're
Kirk
in New
Cousins.
York. So let's look at this. I'm gonna throw out some things about the Jets. The Jets just lost their coach. They just fired their coach. They also just demoted the offensive coordinator, meaning that the OC that was there making all the plays, they're gonna have a new guy making the calls, and it's not necessarily going to there might be some issues there. The Bills, you know,
I feel the
are
least confident about the Jets because of that change. Give Aaron
you think
Rodgers
it's just
more.
gonna be a fucking
I just feel like Aaron Rodgers has more input. Maybe the call the play calling was trash, and they know it. Teams do play better when there's been coaching changes in the next game. I feel like he's due for a good game. The Jets are due for a good win. So
yeah, but it's not going to be against the Bills. They have no defense. I mean, their defense isn't great. They're not going to stop the Bills. So,
all right.
and
What about
listen,
the
you don't have to take it. I already told you one of those two games at
no?
the end is what I'm
It's okay.
taking, no
It's
matter
okay.
what.
So the Bengals and Falcons game. You feel more? I probably would. I would probably more if I had to choose. If it's not the, I mean, obviously I have to change the Bengals. So I'm okay with Bengals minus 3.5.
I like the Bengals. I mean, the Giants have been playing, great offensively, but I think that the Bengals have a stronger chance to outscore the Giants than. I mean, look what they did um to the Ravens. They put up
Yeah.
a shitload of points. They played a great quality game. The Giants are not the Ravens. They're not as good as the Ravens. So to me, it's the Bengals there. But
Okay. Let's go with the Bengals. I'm okay with that pick. And then for your final pick, so we have Texans minus 6.5, Colts plus 3, Bears minus 1.5, Bengals minus 3.5. Who is your
hey,
pick?
you ready? Give me the motherfucking Cowboys. No, I'm just kidding. Just to fuck
Please.
with you on that, just because that way give you ammo to talk shit. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I'll take the Bills.
Okay.
I wanted to do that just because, and then just stick with it, but just for fun. But no.
So would you take the Bills if it went to like -4, -5? What would be the breaking point for where would you would have to like switch over to the Jets?
I don't like -5. I think I'd still be comfortable at 3 or 4, maybe. Yeah. I don't like
Okay.
-5.
Okay.
I don't think it'll swap that far though. If it's not already moved, I don't think
Yeah.
it'll go any further. I think it'll stay at 2.5.
Gotcha. All right. Well, those are our picks. Real quick, I know I want to just briefly touch base with you on the Dodgers and your thoughts on this series. They got spanked the other day, and then
Yeah, but
they won. I know. How do you
yeah,
feel about
don't
going?
you have to talk about when they give me spanked that one day? I know, but so I think I talked about this before, and I mentioned it before that we were going to struggle no matter what because of our starting pitching. We have no starting pitching, or at least our starting pitching just hasn't been as quality as you would expect from us typically, because we've had just a lot of guys that are hurt. Um, am I confident they're coming home? They've been hitting the ball really well. Mookie Betts has been he's hit 2 home runs in each of the, or 1 home run in each of the last 2 games. Otani's due. He's gonna come home and put another one out at home. We're gonna win that game. 100%. We're taking that game. They should have never let us come home. They should have put us away in San Diego. Since they did not put us away in San Diego, we're going home and we're gonna hammer the shit out of the ball and win that game. Guaranteed.
I got a name for you.
Guaranteed. I don't care.
You-
Name. Say the name.
you-
Say fucking Tatis. Say
You
fucking
motherfucking Darvish.
You Darvish isn't starting.
Yeah, he is.
He's starting. I don't
Yes.
care. We saw him. Okay. And you know what? That's bad, because you Darvish doesn't do well on short rest.
Oh, he's
You
going
Dar-
to. Just
No.
watch.
You
Just
Darvish
watch.
historically does not play well on short rest.
I'm
We
going.
were going to, and we just saw him a few days ago. We're gonna fucking. It's in the bag. It's in the bag.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
in the bag.
Okay.
Dude.
I'm gonna be 100% transparent. I was not following the Padres at all this year, but just because you Darvish played on the Cubs, I gotta go with the Padres.
I know.
baby.
You've always.
And I hate the Dodgers.
You always said you
The
like the
hatred that
Dodgers.
you have for the Raiders, I have for the Dodgers.
Oh, I know. Trust me. Fuck the Cubs, just because you hate my Dodgers.
Fuck you. Fuck you. The other game's been pretty good actually. The Yankees series, that hit by Francis Lindor for the Mets. I thought the Phillies were actually gonna give him a little bit more of an issue in that series, but
So did I. I mean, I would have predicted the Phillies as the favorites going into the playoffs, that they would take it all, but they just didn't. You know what it was, honestly, is their pitching was fine. They just didn't hit the ball. They couldn't hit.
Yeah.
They put up no runs across all their games. Like, they put up no runs, and the Mets just wanted it more.
So the Padres, Dodgers 2-2, Tigers, Guardians 2-2. So I mean, these are pretty good series.
I'm excited to see. What I want to see more than anything is the Mets versus the Yankees in New York, and just see that city go crazy with those two potentially playing each other. Or maybe they already are. I don't know. But oh no, they aren't. They're
No.
two separate. So I want to see both them win and then play each other. That to me is like, that'd be funny.
Yeah, it'd be a good series. Who would you go with?
Who would I go with?
I'm going with the Yankees because
I'd
the
say
the Mets screwed us in the playoffs.
No, I'd say fuck the Yankees and go.
Man, we're
with
the fucking
Mets.
exact opposite. Fuck you. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay, buddy. Where's your team? You're at home, fucking sitting on your ass.
We're chilling. We're chilling. We're waiting for next year. There's always next year.
Either way, it's not going to happen, because the Dodgers are going to beat the fucking Padres, and then we're going to go into the series and give everybody's prediction. It's going to be the Dodgers versus the Yankees, and we're going to beat them too.
The original New York Dodgers. Didn't the Dodgers come from New York?
Yeah, Brooklyn.
Yeah. All right. We won't get into NBA, but the Bulls are looking pretty good. First preseason game.
Where the fuck did that go? You talking about the Bulls? This guy.
The UFC last week. Do you have any thoughts on that? I mean, I think I got to listen back to the podcast, but I'm pretty sure the parlay that we had that I put out there hit. The wins, the actual people that won the fights. I don't remember. I remember we had some specific bets on them. So I don't know if those hit, but I know if we would have just went straight up, that would have hit.
Yeah, I mean, no, you know what? So if I'm recalling, I think you actually took Pennington, because I gave you shit about not picking Pena, and I'm like, you're not gonna go with your girl Pena because she's from,
I thought
Chicago?
I did. I thought I said I did. I don't know. I'll have to look. You might be right. You might be
Yeah.
right.
I mean, maybe, who knows? I can't remember everything, but I felt like I just remember giving you shit about Pena, and then maybe you flip flopped and took her. But I mean, that Pereira fight, he whooped the shit out of Roundtree.
Well, the first 2 rounds, Khalil was actually winning.
Yes,
he was winning.
So he fought well, but I'm talking about on the end.
Yeah,
Roundtree was that boy.
It seemed like he let him gas him out. Just let him get all his fucking energy out. And then after that end, he was obviously stumbling. He was tired. He had that nasty little gash on his nose coming into the fight. It looked like it was
Yep.
just barely scabbed over, and that opened up. And then, yeah, he just took it to him. And then he hit him with that liver shot, and then down. Like, yeah, he was done. But it was
that money shot was, oh, that hurt. I felt that shit when we were watching. I was like, ooh, that
yeah,
hurt, man.
yeah.
That
Uh,
hurt. Roundtree looked like you in the fifth, how you fight, just fucking sitting there swinging with his eyes closed over the top, you know?
Stop it. I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover.
Yeah, okay.
I will say the refereeing or the judges, sorry, not refereeing, the judges they were off all night.
Yeah.
They got the Pennington Pena fight wrong. I don't think Pena won. The Jose Aldo fight got screwed over on that fight in my parlay. That was the only fight I got wrong because they gave it to Mario Batista. Although I think we did in our parlay call Mario Batista to win, but in my other bets, I had Aldo winning. And Kevin Holland, before he got injured in the fight, he was already talking within the fight. Like I called it. Like the dude likes to have conversations while he's fighting, and I don't understand why, but he does. But yeah, I mean, he had that rib injury or whatever it was that he had to give up in that second round, between the first and second round. Kayla Harrison, I thought would be a little bit more dominating in the fight. She did win by decision, but I don't know. I don't think she's quite ready for that. Amanda Nunez, you see that video that she
No.
posted? She posted a video of her like at the gym with like some music in the background, and it's like in Portuguese. And if you translate it, it's like call me. And it was like at Dana White. Like it had some lyrics in it, but basically it was like call me. Like there's an interest of her coming. She wants to come back.
I'm ready for it. Let's see her come back. Let's see her put these females to shame and say, look, I left, but this is still my division. This is still my, you know what I mean? I'm that bitch. Like, you know what I mean? You feel me? And I agree though. What's her name who came go back to the main real quick? The new girl that just came in, her first fight.
Kayla Harrison.
She didn't look good. I mean, she looked okay, right? But she didn't look like the dominant fight that she deserves to just get thrown in to fight at the top. You know what I mean? Like, if she put in a dominant fight and won that with like decisively, then I'd be like, oh yeah, for sure. Like, she give her a shot because there's not that other girl, but she didn't do that. To me, I feel like she doesn't deserve to fight for the belt yet. She's, they're always trying to pump those new people exciting that'll, always about selling tickets and shit. But I don't know. She wasn't exciting where I'd be like, oh yeah, I want to see her fight Nunez or somebody like that. Like, no, to me, it's like, no, I want that. If anything, she doesn't deserve to fight Nunez. She's not at her level in my eyes.
I'd like to see her fight Juliana Pena. They got a lot of shit talking back and forth that I like to see.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to see. And the other fight that we had on the preliminary card that we only talked about was this Wonder Boy versus Joaquin Buckley. Fight started off slow for Joaquin. He didn't look too well, and then he got the KO in the third round. He just was a little bit stronger. I mean, not a little bit, but he's jacked. And the power kind of just got to Wonder Boy. But yeah, I mean, Wonder Boy was given a pretty good fight. It was a good fight overall.
I think Wonder Boy was winning that fight. I think he was winning that fight. He got caught and maybe a little tired in that third round and got his ass knocked out.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? We didn't talk about early prelims. Carla Esparza retired. Though I guess I didn't watch the fight, but apparently the judges were wrong in this fight as well. They should have went to Carla Esparza.
Yeah, there were a lot of split decisions that should have never been split decisions too. And like the split judge was heavy, like gave 3 rounds to the opposite person. I don't know. It was just, I don't know. I feel like lately the UFC's judges have been very inconsistent. I mean, what was it the last fight where they pulled a judge from the card and replaced him mid UFC?
Was it the Sphere?
It might have been the Sphere, and it's like, I don't know. I mean, something needs to be done about that shit because it's getting a little bit where you have people that are starting to talk and say the same shit about boxing, where it's like,
Right.
oh, it's just rigged. It's bullshit. And it's like that, as a big UFC fan and somebody who definitely thinks the opposite, hearing that stuff and seeing the inconsistency with judging, it's just, I don't know. It's definitely something that I'm not happy about, that I think they need to do something about.
Yeah. There are 2 fights coming up well, there's a UFC this weekend, and there's only 2 fights that I really is interested in watching. It's a Daniel Rodriguez fight. He just fought Kevin Gastelum. He fights Alex Morano, not my cousin, but maybe he's related. Um, I'm interested to see that fight, see how Daniel fights, see how he bounces back from losing to Kevin Gastelum, and then the Brandon Royval fight versus this. I don't know, I'm not even gonna try Tatsuro. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. Uh, those are the 2 fights I think I want to watch. Um, I don't know much about Tatsuroa. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I don't know much about him, but I do like watching Brandon Royval fight. He does like to throw punches, and he's a dog in there. So it'd be
Yeah.
an interesting fight. Good fight. And then Daniel Rodriguez. I hope he wins. I do like him. I do like watching him fight as well. So we'll
I
see.
like Tavares too, the co-main. I like Brad Tavares. And that should be an interesting fight too.
Where is it at? Is it the Apex? Oh yeah, it's in the Apex. Starts at
Yeah.
what, 6 p.m. So it's an early fight card.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, we fucking did it again. Appreciate you coming on. Happy birthday. Next
Thank
time,
you, sir.
next year when we do this, don't forget you got fucking responsibilities. We got deadlines to meet. No, I'm just fucking with you. No, happy birthday. Fucking we'll talk next week.
Yes,
Peace.
sir.
The Tony Tones world.